what's Missin Curfew? It's when you kind of play guilty, but you show up.
How nice is a green light on the road, though? No practice tomorrow, no plane, just go.
Scotty Upshaw in the clear, and he scores! Right in front, scores!
A few laughs, a little bit of fun, and obviously a lot of hockey talk.
You're listening to Missin Curfew.
The lads.
Fella.
My man.
Curfew calls, baby. The highlight
calls in the bag.
The highlight of Missin Curfew, I think, for us, I think I can throw you in there, is doing these curfew calls.
Yeah.
We got some good ones today.
Yeah, where do we even want to start?
I don't know. I'm going to start getting my own. I think I'm going to start getting my own.
Asking
curfew.
yourself questions.
I'm going to get questions for you.
Oh, nice.
As a friend, business partner, ex-teammate, competitor. I mean, I got some questions I'd like to answer. You can get to the bottom of some of these
how many
answers.
times a day are you jerking off?
Well, I know it's at least once. I know it's at least once for you.
It's not enough.
It's not. You got to get those. Those
you
are
gotta
rookie
pump
numbers.
those numbers up.
Get
those
those
are
rookie
numbers.
Hey, I actually had a question for you. Listen, I want to put a cold tub behind my couch at the Bay Club. There's a nice piece of grass.
Yep.
Well, there's a nice piece of shit. there's a nice piece of grass. And up here, there's a hose. There's a hose right there.
It takes a hose to make that walk.
Yeah. It takes a hose to make that walk, Holmes. My question is, as a rookie cold tub guy, do I pour the cold tub out every time and then refill it? Like where like I want this inflatable one.
You want the inflatable one?
Yeah.
Depends how much room you got. Like how small is the grass?
No, it's not bad.
Well, I'll answer your question right now. If it's an inflatable one, you're gonna have to take the water in and out
every time.
No,
not every time.
But you keep it in for a week, and then it gets stinky, and you just change it.
Take a piss in there. You gotta take it out. Eh?
Yeah. Can't just do this like the bathtub or the shower.
Yeah, and then do I gotta plug it in somewhere? Obviously, right? Yeah.
So there's a bunch of different cold tubs.
Yeah,
Personally,
do you know which one
I
need?
use the plunge, but it's a bathtub, and it's a great product. Good guys there. Shout out to my boy John. I know a ton of guys using them. Sheldon's got one in out in Aspen. These have their own cooling system to them. So you plug it in.
Okay.
Don't need to refill it, but you need to maintain it. So you check the alkaline. I actually did it before I got here today.
Check the what?
The
Alkaline?
alkalinity in it, how hard the water gets. You got to desanitize the water. It's a little tab. You just dip in there. It changes colors. You look at the colors. It's a typical. If you had a pool,
it's like when they used to use that Q-tip, eh? When you this is going to sting a little bit. Just hold on.
It's green.
Oh God,
it's green. You're in one.
Here's the Z-Pack, eh? Don't thank me. Thank penicillin.
So listen, I love that you want to get a cold tub.
Well,
cold tub's great. Burns fat.
Burns
the unnecessary fat.
I need
burns
it.
A bunch of calories.
Like today, for example, I'm not feeling great. You know,
Yeah.
And I went for a walk, nice 2-mile walk on ocean. I went for a nice swim. I'm just feeling like if I came home after that swim and jumped in there before coming in here with you.
Yep.
And I forgot to take my allergy medicines, but if I could just jump in there and boom, and then get out the door. I actually talked to Bobby Orr yesterday at Big Canyon. I was having a hot tub with the franchise Shane Taylor, and I said, "What's going on with the cold tub? What's taking so long here?" So it's coming.
Boys are slacking.
But do they have an inflatable one with plunge?
Yeah, they do. They do not with plunge, but there was a guy that actually came over to Lupul's place a couple years ago and set up one. You could throw it in a backpack, so you could bring it So
I could throw it right here if I needed to.
You could bring it to Burning Man. You can bring it to the
bring
it to the golf course. You can do anything. But convenient, yes. Inconvenient because the water takes a while to cool. Right. So you put.
So
water
I just go buy a couple bags of ice before I'm heading home and just dump them in there.
It's a way to help, but it does come with a cooling system itself. It's one that you wheel, and then you set it up, but it probably takes 8 hours to cool down.
Wow.
To the temperature you want. Probably
what do I want? What
low
temperature?
40s, mid 40s, low 40s. Anything colder than that's.
I could just go jump in the ocean. I might as well just save myself the money. Just go jump in the harbor.
I mean, it's the convenience of these are. What's nice, right? It's not convenient to go jump in the harbor.
Because she's stinky.
Yeah.
She's a little stinky. Because I think if I put one in like you, I'd have to run it up the flagpole at Balboa Bay Club, right? I don't think you can just start, But I think if I had an inflatable one, I think they'd let me slide.
Yeah, no, I think you'd get away with putting a little tub on your patio. But you can come over to my place anytime. It's literally on your way.
Careful, don't say anytime.
You
Hey,
can,
I'll
anytime.
fucking knock
Guy
on that
says
door
anytime.
at 2:15
I'll put the
in the morning.
TVs on. You can watch.
Updog, I'm here for a cold tub.
We can watch our boy EJ on NHL Live before the matches start if you want to come over in the afternoon. If not, we can throw on a little SVP after the game.
Pat McAfee
During the day, yeah, for sure.
You know what? I
put
could,
on our own show on DKN if we want.
Yeah, I could just go. Like the boys in Finland did, just an old fucking rubber
Just Buck
garbage
Diddy
can.
and beers.
Yeah, garbage can with ice, and they'd get in this thing, and I'm like,
well, that's the one I had before at my old house.
yeah, but I want something where I can stretch the legs a bit.
That one was called the. It was a piece of shit actually. I gave it to Amstutz. That was called the. Let me just think of this for 1 second.
Google it.
But it's an actual fucking garbage bin. It literally is just a garbage bin, with. It's Rubbermaid garbage bin. What is it called?
I've looked at a bunch of them, and there's some options. There's some nice options. There's some bigger ones, and then there's some little ones that are literally an inflatable garbage can where you just get in. And I'm like, I don't want to get my fat ass in there.
I'll tell you, you don't want to be plugging ice back and forth. You want to get one. If you have the spot, you want to get one that has the cooling system, has a little cover, and you put it on there. You just maintain the water, like I said, and you're good to go.
So when I'm looking for it, I got to make sure it has a cooling system. That's the answer I was looking for.
That's the answer you're looking for.
It took us 6 minutes to come up with the answer. I'm looking for a cooling system. All right, I got it.
So you know all the benefits, though, right? It's good.
Yeah, fucking
Morning
snaps a hangover.
Morning erections.
Snaps a hangover. No problem.
Yeah. Longevity, some health, some clarity, energy.
I told Bobby Orr, I said, once they get that cold tub back at Big Canyon, I may make my return to the Balboa, the member guest. Because if you had a cold tub in there, that would snap you out of any hangover you had. You'd be like, let's go play.
Hot sauna, cold plunge.
Just dump your head in there. Eh? All right, what time's the tea time? 7:15. Well, thanks, Ups. I'm looking to get one. And,
I love that this turned into a little bit of a...
You're not going to charge me to use your cold tub, are you? Like, you're not going to... I don't know if you get a membership or anything.
Charge enough. You get charged on the golf course every time you step on.
Yeah, no kidding. That is no kidding. Maxie, we got the franchise back there. Franchise, what's up, baby?
You got me back working here hard. This is a working holiday for me, but we're having a good time back here. Maxie, hard working.
Nothing's free in life, buddy. I told you that. What's Maxie got you doing? Cutting the clips again or the swear words? Because curfew calls, typically, there's more swear words.
Well, I haven't quite got my socks off yet, but I got them all counting on my fingers so far. But yeah, I'm counting the F-bombs and all the other good words.
All right, well, you got a question for us. We're going to save the best for last, franchise, so think hard what you want to ask the Updog and myself. But Maxie, let's start it off with a call, fella.
All right.
Scotty, I'm in the Bahamas. I'm at Nobu. I'm with my girl. What are we ordering? Fuck it, get back to the old boy. Yeah, I wrote down. Love you guys.
Oh, that's all time.
Who is that?
I don't know, but he's at he's in the Bahamas at Nobu at what's that hotel called? It's
Atlas?
No, it's
Atlantis.
Atlantis is the hotel, right?
The pink hotel.
Nobu in there.
Was there a question, or is he just asking us?
Yeah, he said no. When he's at Nobu, what does he order?
So
you start with the spicy yellowtail jalapeno,
and then you hammer 2 orders of the rock shrimp tempura. Hammer those big time.
Then your guts get rumbling.
They're good for you.
And then you get the spicy edamame.
Then you go crispy tuna, spicy rice, crispy tuna. 2 orders of that. What's the nice salad they have? The light little salad.
That was so funny. We got to rewind that. I think spicy rice, crispy tuna.
spicy tuna, crispy rice.
Sick.
You have a shirt that says that, Obi.
Yeah.
Sick.
By the way, that sauce Hockey put salmon on there. I'm like, by the way, Smitty, if we're nitpicking here, that piece of sashimi, it's salmon, not tuna, but
you get the king crab tempura. Okay, that's what you go for.
You get the baked crab hand rolls.
Yeah, a couple of those.
8 of those.
Spicy.
You need 2
scallop hand roll. 2 of those. Light on the rice.
What's that salad? Is that the Nobu salad that's just a little light and you just put it on there?
It's called the, what is that called?
I think it's called the Nobu salad or the gingy salad or something.
It's got a nice ginger dressing.
It's a gingy.
Loops and I always order this one. And then the Nobu style salmon sashimi.
Yeah,
those
salmon sashimi so
they
good. They
torch it a little bit with that oil, and it's so nice.
Then you got to go Toro too. If you
get the Toro,
you got to go Toro.
Toro nigiri on the top of a little rice.
And while you're doing all this, just start dusting off that Amex because right now we're already at about $200-300.
Get the Nobu. Actually,
we're already at
before you do anything.
And we haven't had any sake yet.
Get the Nobu Old Fashioned.
Oh, it's tasty.
Yeah, and before you even get that, order another one.
Yeah.
Come back in 5 or 6 minutes because you're going to be thirsty.
Hey, and every 7 minutes, bring one of those back till one of us passes the fuck out.
Well, fuck,
then,
that's about $800. So I hope you made some money on the table. So.
No, but we're forgetting something. And then if you're really having a night, you do the Wagyu beef on the rock, right?
Oh yeah, if you want. Yeah.
With the salt.
Yeah.
That's nice too.
And then just get to the bathroom as fast as you can.
Yeah.
Just.
I love the baked crab hand rolls though, man. Are they not just tasty there?
Tasty.
The thing about Nobu is like, it's very expensive, but you always know what you're going to get.
Yep.
Like quality. We're forgetting some other stuff, aren't we?
You better just hope that.
You said yellowtail sashimi.
You better hope the girl you're taking there gets appreciation out of it because it's not cheap.
No.
Like,
it's the
you
most.
Better get lucky after.
Yeah. When's the last time you've been to the one in Newport?
I went last week with Loops.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Yeah, a little double date there.
Yeah. You guys love it. You guys love a good double date. Hey, last time I went there, I took Mac Miller, and there was this fucking big boy at the bar that was just hammered, just yelling.
Did you sit at the bar?
I sat in the little lounge right behind him, and he
nice.
was just yelling and yelling at these girls coming in, and like, I was just kind of almost wanted to say something, but I didn't. But like, if you're at Nobu, like, try to keep it together.
Keep it classy.
Right? Like, we're trying to keep it, respectful.
There's a little bit of problem with that in the OC area sometimes, right? I guess it's everywhere.
I'll tell you what.
I'm
not going to say the establishment I was at, but the crowd I was at a couple nights ago was just the worst Orange County crowd ever. Like,
oh no,
yeah, it's just
tough crowd.
Just like,
do I know? Have I spent time there?
Yeah, you haven't.
Yeah.
We'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
It just wasn't great. Like, I don't know what the word is.
What,
like,
muscles? Or
no, like
trash.
Just like they think they're so cool.
Tattoos.
And maybe they are. I don't know. No, like older, richer, faker, fake.
Pretenders.
That's the word.
Pretenders.
But what about sake at Nobu? Listen, I know my way around a wine list pretty good, right? I obviously, when it comes to old fashioned stuff like that. But when a sake list comes to me, I got no idea. All I know is I want some of it, right? And I want it cold or warm, right? I want it cold, right, Ups?
Yeah, you do.
And you just start chugging that.
Listen,
you could get a good buzz going off of sake.
My girl orders, what does she get? She gets the Nobu YK35.
Wow. What's that go for a bottle?
It goes for, I think one glass is like $80.
One glass?
It's a joke. Yeah, I leave there and I'm like, excuse me? What?
So your bill's over $1,000 then?
Yeah, let's just see.
Time.
So no, this YK35 Jiangzhou sake.
I thought you were pulling up your Amex.
720 milliliter bottle.
Hold on a second here.
It's only $100 actually, but online. So you can picture. This is 750 milliliter.
Yeah.
I think that's a half bottle.
Did you say edamame at the start? You did, right?
Spicy.
Ooh, I don't like spicy. I just want salty.
You like it salty, eh? Maybe one day you'll wake up one morning and want to just spice it up.
The franchise has been spicing it up. I mean, he had this franchise. What was that drink you had at SoFi there? It was the bedwetter is what it was. It was the size of a bucket. And it looked like a Bloody Mary, but what was it?
Michelada?
Yeah, it was. I think that's what it was. A michelada. It was a big bucket of beer with kind of like a Bloody Mary mix and some spices. Very similar to like a Clamato juice that we have at home.
Beer and clam.
Are you a beer and clam guy?
Oh, I literally can't think of a better drink at home in the summer on a boat than cold beers and a fucking Dixie cup.
Cold beers.
With a cold thing of Clamato juice coming out of the ice bucket.
Yeah.
And you go, I think the ratio is about 1 to 5. One shot Clamato.
5 beers.
For 5 ounces of the beer.
Oh, 5 ounces.
So 1 to 5 ratio.
First time I heard about a beer and clam was Joel Stepper was my roommate. I think it's a Western Canadian thing, right?
Yeah,
Taylor, did we ever do, I never had a beer and clam growing up. Did you? I'd have a Caesar, but would you ever have a beer and clam?
Yeah, no, the beer and Clamato, that was more something I got into as I got a little bit older. After you're crushing 14, 15 beers down by the cottage, you need just a little bit of something else just to kind of break it up. And that's where the Clamato juice comes in, exactly what he's talking about.
In the morning?
Yep.
It's great.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
It gives it a little and I'm not like a tomato juice guy.
Yeah, I've known you a long time. I don't think I've ever seen you fucking have one.
Never have a tomato juice.
No.
But a beer and clam. Back when I miss my old house so much.
Yeah, we got to get
that
we need to spend more time on the lake. We need to
patio.
get a week every summer where we go to the lake. Speaking of the lake, what do you call the guy that helps you with the boat? Like you're driving the boat, and my job is to make
captain.
sure. No, I'm the captain. But your job is to get the ropes on the dock and help me in, guide me in.
Co-captain.
First mate.
First mate.
Okay, first mate.
The franchise Shane Taylor, love him to death. Not the best first mate, right?
No.
Typically too baked to realize
too
what's
drunk.
going on, right?
Yeah.
See? And not the most nimble guy to get out of the boat and get in the boat.
Yeah.
And I remember he just looked at me like, "You want me to help you there?" Oops. I go, "Well, I was looking for a little guidance.
Not the most sturdy when it comes down the boat. You know what I mean? More of a landlocked guy myself.
Listen, there's times I lived on the lake for 6 or 7 years, and we got into this conversation with our boy John Michael Lyles the other day about just how crazy the mountain can be. You know, we live near the ocean, just how rowdy the ocean can be. Well, when the winds pick up and you're on a big lake like Kelowna and you feel the water, you're out having a beautiful day, and all of a sudden you feel the wind pick up and you kind of look around and you're the captain of the boat and you're like,
shit's on you.
Yeah, you go, I think it's time we book her back. If you don't make that decision at the right time,
know what
you are beyond fucked.
I know.
So I remember one vivid time we were cliff jumping. This is probably a 30-minute boat ride away. I had a little 23-foot Mastercraft X Star at the time. I'm with Toots, my brother, maybe my girlfriend at the time. There were probably maybe 7 of us cliff jumping, hanging out. Perfect day. And then I see the clouds from like Penticton area start coming through, and I'm like, hey, let's have a couple more jumps and we'll get back, right? And then and
Or you went for the extra jump, did you?
a couple extra jumps.
Cost
By the
you.
time we
Cost
got about
you.
halfway back, we were in like 8-foot swells. Couldn't see left or right.
No.
But then we make it back, and I'm at the time contemplating just staying out in the middle of the water because coming into this dock I had was beyond crazy, even on nice days. You needed to be a skilled driver to kind of get into this Barona Beach shit show at the time. So we come in, and I'm trying to get this, Obi, perfect parking spot.
You're trying to thread the needle.
Into the waves.
You're trying to thread the needle.
And I have Toots sitting outside my boat with his legs on the dock trying to settle it down, and I'm going, get your legs in the boat. Like,
Snap the ACL.
they'll snap right off.
Yeah.
And he's listening. You talk about co-pilot or first mate. This Toots is great, but I'm like, and people see us coming in from the dock, and they start coming out, and I'm like, throw me a spear, like no, throw me a rope, basically, right?
Yeah.
Like, because that's the only way you're gonna get this thing is someone throw you a rope from that side, and then 2 people pull you in. It's fucking nuts. Then you get onto the retractor.
Where put your boat up?
Yeah. And you're trying to get in and time that thing so gear shifter and the remote to lift you up, buddy.
And you probably weren't completely sober doing all this, were you?
I mean, I thrashed my boat.
Were you completely sober?
No, well, not completely. There's a couple beer and clams.
No, you're not. Listen, you're never.
No,
sober
but like
on the
when
wave.
you're out there
There's
having a
nothing
first
better.
mate and time like that, it's crucial.
It is crucial.
Crucial.
And obviously the sound travels on the lake, right? So we were up in the Muskokas last year, and you've seen the movie Tin Cup.
Yeah.
There's a song in there called the Double Bogey Blues at the franchise, and the franchise was feeling it that day.
The double bogey blues.
Yeah, and he's singing that, he's dancing, and we're having a great time, and we got a good buzz going. We're probably more baked than we are drunk, and then we see this guy. This part of the story is that this cottage I rented, it's on an island, so you can only get there by boat, right? And our one buddy Steve Cramp was supposed to show up. And this guy on a canoe is coming right for us, and we're so baked. I'm like, "Fuck! I think that's Cramper." Like, I think he felt that he's coming to see the boys. So, anyways, he gets closer, and I'm like, "It's not Cramper." And the guy comes over, and I'm like, "Dude, what? Like, can I just ask you a question?" Like, he comes right in, docks his canoe. I'm like, "Why'd you come over here?" He's like, "Oh, I heard the singing. I thought it was just a party going on over here." I'm like, "How do we shake this guy now?
Yeah.
Like, how do we?" But I was so baked, and I thought it was my buddy. What an entrance that would have been! Imagine Cramp Dog coming in over some canoe that he rented.
Totally.
Just
You
got to
give the guy a beer and let him hang if he canoes over.
We watched the guy
come.
We watched the guy come across the lake for a good 10 minutes, and for that whole 10 minutes, we're like, "That's Cramp for sure."
Yeah, we were just so baked that we thought it was Cramp.
He's just like, hell no, I'm your neighbor. I just want to get away from the wife.
That's exactly what he said.
Totally.
He's like, I heard the singing and the dancing, and I thought I got to get away from the kids for a bit. So, great question on the Nobu. I think me and Updog gave a hell of an order there. Makes me hungry actually, but like I said, it's not cheap. But Maxie, well, why don't we do another call?
All right, here's a question from Maddie.
Fellas, Maddie from Long Island, repeat caller. Want to know all the pro tips, all the ins and outs, getting back into some beer league. Want to know how to be the best locker room guy, best team guy. Give me all the pro tips. Love the pod. Keep it going, you bunch of fucking beauties.
Matty from Long Island. What'd you write down? I wrote down a couple things too. You seem
Yeah. Well, you go first.
Or you
go one, I'll go one.
Okay.
And then we'll go keep going.
First thing I just said was obviously bring the beers.
Okay, so I didn't even write that yet. Bring the beers. I said bring extra tape. Hey? You don't want to be... You don't want to fucking...
Who's got the clear tape? Oh, I'll be fucking...
Yeah, good guy. He got extra tape.
We can't cut up show, boys. He always has fucking stick tape and clear tape. So, Uppy's on the team. So, tape guy.
Okay.
So, you need tape.
Extra socks. Hey?
Foot socks or hockey socks?
Both.
Yeah.
Because, guys forget them. Their wives do the laundry and they fucking forget them in the dryer. And next thing you know, you show up, you got no socks. You know how fucked up that is when you go to try to play hockey, no socks?
Never understood.
Good glue guy brings extra socks.
Never understood guys I played with how they played barefoot.
Disgusting. Yeah, I used to as a kid, but disgusting.
God, especially guys that when we're in the jungle, you're playing 3-on-3. Your bus has been and then you put your foot in that grimy skate.
And think of 2003 when the skates were what they were, heavier, leather.
Yeah.
It was crazy. It would take days to get thawed out.
Crazy. Keep going. So we got tape and socks.
Play the music. Bring the fucking jam box.
Yeah.
Right?
Gotta.
Bring the jam box. What else you got?
I mean, you're killing this segment. Listen, you're on my team no matter what, but now you're really on my team. I just said bring lots of ice. Make sure, they're nothing worse than coming off. I guess if the rink's cold, you can just put the cooler out in the hallway and maybe she'll get cold.
I got another one.
But bring the ice. Make sure the beers are ice cold after that game.
I got another one. Offer to pick the boys up, eh?
So that you don't get to do it. So the other
they
guys
can
don't get to do it.
So they can drink.
Yeah.
Offer to pick them up sometimes.
Yeah.
Do the old switcheroo.
And then I guess the last one would just be don't forget the jerseys, right? Or does everyone keep their jerseys nowadays? I remember going to tournaments. We never had enough jerseys. They probably keep them now,
question.
right?
No,
don't forget the jerseys.
A lot of guys now, it's can't make it next week. You need the jersey. Here's the jersey.
Hey, franchise is filling in. We need your jersey.
Yeah,
right.
totally.
Then next thing you know, we're short jersey. So make sure you clean your jersey too. Make sure you wash it. We don't want to be the stinky team.
Oh yeah, bring some extra soap.
Yeah, this is actually a great. Bring some extra soap.
We're gonna be mean and we're gonna be clean.
And we're gonna smell great.
Bring that Axe body wash, boys. That 3-in-1 there. Fucking just tickle the ball sack here. Franchise. Remember so Taylor is he's got a couple championships in softball, but Taylor's Titans was his men's league team that he was GM, coach of. That we won a championship for you, didn't we?
Yeah, we won a couple there back there, but you were definitely part of one of them for sure.
We all stayed at his house, slept on the floor, all 8 of us. That is team bonding.
Totally.
Team bonding.
Getting drunk on a Friday night at the Home Lake Inn.
We had a good team, eh? We had just a good balanced squad. Huffman wasn't like that. LaFontaine, Baxter.
All the good boys back in the day. We were real fast. We were all the young legs back in the day. We could take on some of the older boys. That's how we beat them, eh? Just be faster than they were.
Yeah. So then I made the show, and I always told franchise when I retire, I'll play in one tournament with you when I'm done. I'll play one before I get too fat and too slow, but let's win one more. So my buddy Cramp sets up the tournament. I send my gear home. I get there. I get in the dressing room. I look around the team. I'm like, you didn't put this team together, did you? He said, no, I didn't. I didn't know. I said, well, that wasn't part of the deal, bud.
Yeah. So you didn't play?
I played. Oh. Well, I played 2 games.
Okay.
We tied the first one, and then we lost the second one. And I think I coached with you in the third one, didn't I? Yeah, I was done. That was it.
Yeah, we battled through the third.
Yeah, wasn't a great beer league team. But I'll tell you what, I played in some of those tournaments when I was younger. I don't know if you did back out in Fort Mac or whatever. Some of these beer league guys, they know how to play beer league hockey. Right? They all play together on weekly. They know where to go. They know what to do. They kind of know how to play.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of good hockey players in Canada, man.
Yeah.
You can go to any rink, come 8 o'clock when all the minor hockey league's done and watch beer guys play, and you're like, fuck, these guys are good.
Crafty.
It's fucking hockey country, man.
You ever play ball hockey in the summer?
Swearing a lot now.
Did you ever play ball hockey?
I didn't. I love it though. Yeah. I love it, and so I just bought the kids some of these little mini sticks now. Yeah. So you buy them from Bauer, and they show up in these little plastic bags, and it's like a hidden, like a hockey card. So you open it, you don't know what stick you're gonna get. If it's a lefty, Joby, you can pick lefty or righty. And they come with curves. Like the mini sticks now are like the one pieces.
You don't just curve them yourself anymore?
No, like with the minis. Picture the little
I
white
used to
mini
curve my
sticks
mini
back
stick.
in the day. They were like, a foot and a half.
Yeah.
Now they're like 2 feet. So they're a little bit bigger. So when you're on your knees, like you play, it's perfect. And these sticks are sick. So the first one Beckham opens up is a Zegras, like full-blown little mini stick, one piece. And it's got a sick little curve. And when you like screw around with this thing, it's awesome. So anyway, in saying the ball hockey stuff, I'm like, now I'm getting back into mini sticks. And
that's called full cycle franchise.
Yeah,
that's called
great.
full cycle.
Starts
there, buddy.
with the mini sticks.
Dude, so when we were like, shout out to the Quinny Red Devils, right? We would play. We go to these hockey tournaments, and we would bring our mini sticks, but we would curve them ourselves.
Yeah. But
we torch them,
little white one. Use one hand and just whip them.
Bend them, and one hand, and you would just fire them at each other. And
high stick a guy.
You'd play in the hallways.
Totally.
One hand with a curve like that, and you would just send it.
Yeah.
So now you're telling me that these next
They
generation
come curved.
kids, they come
Buddy,
curved.
they flex. I'm sitting there. I can.
What's next?
I
What's
can
next?
zip them.
You don't even have to curve your own mini stick.
It's insane.
Times have changed.
But Bauer's onto something because it's like the Instagram clicks. You just like something pops up, and now we're talking about this. We're gonna have mini sticks on there.
I know what pops up when I click Instagram. Jeez.
But no, I mean, they suck you into buying these little mini sticks.
I was watching a video today of Jose Canseco's daughter doing this workout thing, and I gotta be honest. I looked at the franchise. I said, just have a peek at this.
Yeah.
Like, have a peek.
That's some
Good.
serious.
I just said that's not fair. Right? Like, what
It's
a life.
not fair,
What
no.
a life. What do you think Big Jose thinks? Like, he probably just embraces that his daughter's an absolute dime, or you got it right.
Yeah,
I mean, you might
guess
find
so.
out someday. You'll find out.
He
when
called her
goes up.
Jose, didn't he?
Something. It's Joe. Yeah, I think
He called her Josie,
Josie, yeah.
and he's Jose.
Yeah. She's gorgeous.
It's nice that he went off the beaten path there with the name.
Yeah. Way to be original there. Hey, well, he's all juiced up.
He didn't care. He's just hitting homers.
He's all juiced up.
Oh,
Remember how
God.
big he was? Like when he would come up to the plate. Like we were younger back then when the Bash brothers, him and McGuire. But like you'll see clips of it on social media now where he is just like the bat looks like this pen in his hand, and he's just.
Did you see the thing the other day on his brother? His brother, right?
No.
His brother's just juiced up too, like him. But his brother sucked. So everyone's like, oh, doing steroids. Look at the size of his brother. He did steroids too, but you still need to be a good ball player to get all these home runs.
I was just going to say that. You still have to square it up.
Yeah, you still got to be an elite hitter, even though you're mashing them out of the ballparks. But
yeah, and for speaking of the steroid era, like it saved baseball. Like Sammy Sosa, Mark McGuire, those guys. Like I loved baseball then. Like you watch a Giants game now, they can hardly get it out of that park. Bonds was hitting into McCovey's Cove. There's people out there in canoes with nets waiting for the ball to come. Like 20 of them. Like he was hitting them every day, obviously. But I think the one maybe disadvantage is if you get one like off the end of the bat and you're juiced up, you might be able to lift it out of there, right? Like, But if you square it up, it doesn't matter if you're juiced or not.
yeah, like picture all the balls that Barry Bonds hit out of the park. Like they were all going to be home runs. There's a very minimum of them just got over the fence.
They
like
were
they
going
were
in
all
the cove.
They were going.
They were going in the cove.
What are you going to take away? Maybe 50 of his home runs, but like all the other ones were sent, no matter juiced up or not.
No,
he put the splat on the ball.
They should just do. I think they should let them in the Hall of Fame, but I think if not, just do a steroid section, right? You go to the Hall of Fame in Cooperstown. You're like, all right, over here's the steroid section.
Totally.
Right? You swing it there. It's just McGuire and Sosa.
Next to Hulk Hogan and all the WWE guys.
But you got the pitchers in the steroid era too. You got Roger Clemens, and those guys the pitchers were juiced up, throwing the balls, harder.
Totally. So you just do a steroid era Hall of Fame where all these guys are in there.
Yeah, I agree.
Or you just let them in. I mean, I played in a golf tournament with Roger Clemens in Reno, and his legs and ass were like some of the thickest things I've ever seen. Like he was a big boy with steroids or not.
Totally.
I think with the pitchers, it was more recovery for them, right? They were taking stuff to help them recover. So when they went back out there on the 5th day, they were feeling like.
Was Nolan Ryan juiced up?
God, I hope no. No, he's just a bulldog.
Right?
Bulldog.
He wasn't that big either, was he?
Just a bull.
Was he
big
my size?
legs,
6
big
feet?
asses. I don't know. Google that, someone, please.
I think he's pretty tall.
Nolan Ryan? I don't know about that.
Right here.
I was always pretty shocked at just how lethal he was.
Nolan Ryan, 6'2", $194.
It's not that big. I'm 6 feet.
Roger Clemens, 6'4", 235. Yeah, he's a big boy.
Yeah.
Good golfer.
Yeah.
carries around, I think I've told this before, but carries around a replica bat in his golf bag that has Roger Clemens on it. And anytime you take a picture with him, like he gives it to you or you hold it or something like that.
Really?
Yeah, he pulls it out. I remember Beauty Alert, Evan Knapp got a picture with him. He pulled it out of his bag and said, hey, hold that. And he's like, Roger Clemens.
Sick.
Signed the ball. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. But I mean, Nolan Ryan, you know that he pitched into like his late 40s. Late
Insane.
40s. Yeah. Never won a Cy Young.
What?
Never won a Cy Young. Had like 7 no-hitters or something. Never won a Cy Young.
Huh.
Have you watched the documentary on Nolan Ryan?
No.
Gotta watch it.
Really?
And it talks about how he changed his you make an adjustment throughout your career. He went with the higher leg kick, right? And that prolonged his career. Like whatever it taught him to get his leg higher, and he used like numbers and analytics to get in there. And keep the back
Even
half
when a guy was on base, he still do that? Or?
He had the high leg kick.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, super high leg kick.
It's good for the hip flexors.
Yeah, you don't have time to watch it, but you should watch it. It's called Comparing Nolan or something like that.
I haven't
really
watched
good.
much TV lately.
No, you don't have time. I know. You don't have time. So.
I'm trying to watch hockey.
What was that question, Max? Was it beer league question?
Yeah, it was
The
beer
beer
league.
league question, yeah.
Well, okay, I'm going to read this one here. BD Bellsy, money on the board. Fellas, want to know when money on the board starts happening, if it's junior or not till you get to the pros. Also love to know when you both knew that it wasn't going to be hard to pick up the ladies because you were hockey players. Love the show. Keep swearing and talking about what it's like outside of hockey and living the life all of us Canadian boys dreamed of. Rest in peace, Scoopsy, Bugsy, Kingston, Ontario. When did you realize it was going to be easy to pick up chicks? Well, I mean, that depended what kind of chick you were trying to hook up with, right? I mean, if you're trying to get a 10, it was harder than, maybe getting one that was in the middle of the pack, right?
Yeah, I would say back when you were like a kid, it was like, you used to have crushes on like these girls you used to go to school with, right? Like you always want to walk home with one, or you always want to take her to the dance or whatever.
Prom.
Right? Prom. Call it prom.
Prom.
Well, I don't know about you, but like, if that was hard back then, and you didn't get that, yes, like I'll go with you, and instead she goes with some other guy.
Yeah,
so
no,
if you were that,
definitely
if you were that guy, which it was to me, and then those girls, like shortly thereafter, a couple of years later, they, they end up having a little change of tune.
There's a few girls in my high school, and the franchise could contest to this, that when I was in high school, they wanted nothing to do with me, and then I'd come back after making the show, see them at the home yeah, they're singing a different tune. Singing a different tune for sure. But when I knew it was going to get a little bit easier, I would say when I landed in Vancouver.
Oh, you're talking like
were
you really just seeing the ball?
Yeah,
well?
In Anaheim, I was a rookie. Did okay, I think. Tampa, had a girlfriend for the start. Then I kind of went single, did pretty good after that. But then when I got to Vancouver, I was completely single, turning into a veteran. Then you get on the road and you go to the right restaurants and you meet people, right? If she's working at the restaurant or whatever, and then you start, building that bullpen up, and then it's just, you're planning your season. So I would say Vancouver for me. I know you were an early bloomer in that regards, but I would say Vancouver's when I really started seeing the ball well.
Yeah, you get to change the scenery in different cities throughout your career, and then Rolodex just builds if you're a free agent. So. Mostly it was a free agent my whole career.
Yeah. When you get traded, though, then you got to, how did you look at it? Like, oh, man, my bullpen's thin, or, wow, I get to restock it. How did you look at it? Were you glass half full or glass half empty?
I was always glass half full.
Yeah.
Sad for about a day, and then the new light shines.
Yeah. You knew you'd always come around to see the people that you're leaving behind. And you check the schedule. I'm back in Nashville.
Yeah, but I was always on to bigger and better.
Yeah, no kidding. Money on the board. Starts in pro. Actually, I don't know if I put any money on the board in American League. Did you?
No, I remember the very first time. It was Frosty grabbing me in New York after morning skate, and he was just like, "All right, tonight's your night." I'm like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "You're the first round pick on the team, and your first NHL game. You got to put up some cash." I think I had to put up it was a gnarly number.
Well, you were a big signing bonus baby.
It was
right?
like $3,000.
What?
$3,000 and $3,000 of the trainers.
Wow. Trainers, nice touch.
I don't know if we won that game. I know Adrian Aucoin danced me at the blue line first couple shifts and went in and rang one off the crossbar out.
He didn't exactly have the quickest boots.
No, he was good back then.
Oh,
though.
great player.
I played with him when he was
player.
in Phoenix, and he was great. But back like 2002, he was only 29 years old.
Did he dance you because you got a little too horny going out there?
He was right.
A little too horny going out there?
Yeah, I went out fast, stick on puck, and he went and just came down the wall, and I'm okay. See you later.
Yeah. Hey, Upshaw, have a seat right here, bud. Have a seat right here. I remember I asked Getsy and Pears. I said we won our first game. We beat the Kings. I think we beat them 4-1 or something. I think Getsy said put $500 up. Like literally, when I went to training camp with the Ducks, like I don't even know if I had $10,000 in my account. Like if I wouldn't have made the NHL that year, that summer I would have had to get a job somewhere, golf course or something.
Yeah.
So thank God it worked out.
No, I know.
I put $500 up, and then depending on the guys that came up, if you're a first rounder, I would tell the young guys like, hey, if you want to make a statement, throw $1,000 up there.
Yeah.
Like the boys, that'll go a long way. Or $500 for us, $500 for the trainers.
Always to the trainers.
Yeah. But once I established myself in the league, anytime I put money on the board, it was typically $1,000. No more, no less, $1,000. Go get it, boys.
I used to like calling out all the guys who just, I'd know who doesn't put up. I was always the fun guy too. You go around, you're like.
You were the fun guy, eh?
Yeah, you go around.
What'd you do with that?
Spent it on the boys. Oh, they spend it in all the right ways. In fact, I'd much rather have me look at spending it on the card than anyone else.
I know. Would the rest of the team say that though? Is my question. I know you would like that. But would the rest of the team?
Oh yeah. Okay. That's why I was, glue guy.
I would have let you have it. Yeah.
But you go around and some guy's making like $8 million and he's just cheap. Mm-hmm. I don't need to name names, but they know who they are. And you're like, hey, bud, I know you played on this squad, and it's your birthday. Step up here.
Yeah, let's go.
Get the boys go. Get us going.
Yeah.
You put money up. You put $10,000 up right now. You might have another $10,000 from everyone else just fired up because you're getting
so
off
cheap,
your wallet.
Because you're so cheap. I used to hate the guys that would say, "Oh, every time I put up, we never win." Come on.
I know.
That was such a weak effort. Every time I put up, we lose.
Yeah.
Well, play better.
Yeah.
All right. We lose when you don't put money up too, bud. That's why you're minus 16 this year.
I know.
You're one bad. Come on. I hate that.
It's like, who cares?
It's an investment in the team.
No
come on.
I don't get it.
And I always looked at it you knew the married guys would duck out, so you always knew the fun. As a single guy, you knew you get a little bit more of it because, right? Most married guys, they give you 2 nights, and then they got to go back to being a family, being a father, and then how much is left in that fun, boys. We'll spend the rest of it. That's how I looked at it.
Totally.
Yeah.
That's right.
Good question, though. I got one more here I'm going to read, and then we'll go to the franchise. This is from Daniel from Vancouver. Fellas, love the podcast and all the love Vancouver gets. Being born and raised in Thunder Bay, I have to ask, would you rather have a team with the Staal brothers in their prime or with the Hughes brothers in their prime? Rest in peace, Jimmy.
I mean, that's a great question.
Great question.
Staal brothers are nasty.
Nasty.
They were great players. They were all really highly skilled, all played all different positions. They've all had success. Both of them, 2 of them, Jordan and Eric have won cups. I don't think Mark has, right, yet?
No.
But they were all really good, man. Eric Staal was a great player. So and
Beast,
Jordan Staal,
reach,
I had
Staal,
so many battles
reach.
with Jordan Staal and Pitt. Man, he was good.
Yeah. Big.
So, but I'm just going to go out there and say this is out of all the families out there with the skill and the ceiling, and we haven't seen the Hughes brothers in their prime yet.
Yeah, that's true.
It's hard not to say that this, Jim Hughes, and you said it earlier, this super sperm he's got going on.
He does.
It tops any hockey family going, right? It does. The kids are playing with joysticks and.
I love Quinn Hughes' game so much.
Yeah, I know it's really great. I'm excited to see Jack come back and be healthy and perhaps chase a Hart Trophy caliber season. But no, these Hughes brothers are nasty. I'd pick the Hughes brothers.
Yeah, I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to say the Staal brothers, and the fact that I think when the Staals were in their prime, they could both skate for how big they were. Now, if you threw them in their prime out there right now, they would be one of the slower guys, obviously out there. I think with their size and stick, they could find a way to compete, play the power play, net front, tip pucks. I think if you throw Jack Hughes and all of them right in the middle of our career with the way it used to be played, I think they miss more games than they play. I think Jack Hughes, when we play, gets abused. I really do.
Yeah.
And I think Quinn Hughes going back for pucks all night with 2-2 coming after him and Ben Eager, Darcy Hordichuk, Sean Thornton, Daniel Carcillo, DJ King. I mean, I could keep on.
Mutants.
Steve Ott, Scotty Upshaw. I think he gets worn down. Luke Hughes is still too young. So to answer this hypothetical question, and I love everything about Quinn Hughes and Jack Hughes, and Luke is going to be a good player, but I think the Staals could have adjusted more to the game than Hughes could have back in our era. But
yeah,
we'll never find out. But that's why it's kind of a.
That's a great question.
Yeah.
Who would you rather have?
Now the Staal brothers would look slow out there right now. They would.
Yeah.
But Jordan's still playing, so he's getting around.
He's still
and
playing.
Eric played last year.
Where's Jordan playing?
Carolina. He's their captain.
Oh, he is. Yeah.
And Eric played last year. Took his team to the Stanley
yeah.
Cup final. So really, if you think about it,
and is Mark Staal still playing?
He's hurt. Yeah, he's in Philly.
Wow.
So
still going.
Technically, they're all still going. So yeah, I even more I have to give it to the Staals.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, do you think Jack Hughes right now, in our fourth, when I was in Vancouver and you were in Phoenix, you drop him in a game, is he good, Jack Hughes? Now there's cross-checking and stuff. Remember?
Yeah.
He can't get to the net.
Yeah, I think he's.
There's hitting.
I know. I think he's like Paul.
What do
Correa
you think
was
if Rafi
really
Torres was on the ice with Jack Hughes?
I think he would probably kill him.
Yeah. See, that's what I'm saying.
I know. Yeah. I mean, yeah. And you look at Paul Correa, like he got hit hard when he played, and he was probably the best smaller player ever to play the game. Yeah. One of them. Yeah.
And I love Jack Hughes. Everyone, Devils fans, take it easy. I don't need you coming out. I love this kid, and he was on his way to a Hart Trophy, and he's taking the next step. But in this hypothetical question, that's what I think. Just the physicality.
Marty St. Louis-ish, Jack Hughes, Marty St. Louis.
Marty was fucking hard nosed though.
Yeah.
Is Jack Hughes as hard like Marty?
No.
Hey, we'll never know.
Marty was a bulldog.
Marty's the man. Marty St. Louis is the man. No visor. Fuck, you play with no visor. Every day you have a cut on his face. Every morning. Hey, Marty, cup of coffee, cut on his face. Every day. Not one day was he not like, and it wasn't from shaving. It was from, he'd go to those dirty areas.
I know he would.
Like you get
patcher
with a stick.
Oh, when you're that short, it's easy to get a high stick in the face.
And Marty, he put a visor on after near the end of his career, as he should have, but no visor. I mean, there's a picture, Prince, you could probably find of when they won the cup, where Marty had a black eye and his hair's long, and there's nobody better in the world than Marty St. Louis, man. The guy's a warrior.
Yeah, I agree.
Love him. Last but not least, we'll turn it over to the franchise Shane Taylor. What do you got there for the boys?
Actually, this question got me thinking about something the other day when Uppy said when you went to the Green Bay Packer game, it was actually the straight cash homie game from Randy Moss. What's the best sporting event you guys have ever been to outside of hockey, obviously?
Ooh, baby.
What do you got?
You want to go first?
Sure. 2009 Masters.
Oh, yeah.
Phil Mickelson won. It was.
Were you there for the jump?
Yeah, I was there for the jump on Sunday.
What?
Yeah, it was great. It was with Blaine Stewart.
Did I know that?
It was with Blaine Stewart, my buddy Brian, who was my financial advisor at the time, and another buddy, Bruce Baker. 4 of us.
Let me ask you a question before you continue. How were you with the rules around Augusta? Like,
no, it was pretty good.
When you're not,
I'll tell you what I did do though.
You can't run, right? You got to walk.
No. So I did a shyster move when I was there.
Okay, what'd you do?
So we got there Saturday morning. Okay, we had 2 day passes, and you walk in, and we bought a green Masters chair. Still have them. I see. I gave it away already. Have them. You're supposed to buy one, and you're supposed to lay that chair wherever you want on any hole. And when you do that, no one can touch your chair for that whole day, which is why when the gates open, you're not allowed to run. You have to speed walk, and you carry your chair, your bench, whatever, and you place it somewhere. And so when we walked in, we got there early. We walked in. We went to 18T. Okay, so we went to the 18th tee box because we're like, you know what, let's put them here, and then we'll figure it out at the end. So we placed one there and put our little card in it with our name. Then I'm like, let's go buy another fucking chair each. And then let's go place that on 12T.
Ooh,
it's still early.
Corner.
So then we went and boom, got another one, went to Amen Corner, second row, boom. So the plan was we walk around all day, follow these guys on the front 9, see the holes. And then come later afternoon, we go get all our beers. It was next to the beer garden on 12. And we just sat on Amen Corner the whole time watching those tee shots. And then as soon as the last group came through 12, we kind of just followed up the back kind of corridor up to the 17th green.
Yeah.
And then we watched the last guys, like the last five groups come and tee off literally right. You're Phil Mickelson, you're Tiger Woods right there. So that was the Saturday.
Sick.
So I pulled the double chair move.
But how do they keep track of you? Are you just an honor system? With
It's
the
an
one
honor
chair?
system with the
Wow.
chairs, yeah.
I would have done that too. That's not that shiesty.
No.
Fucking little double barrel. Got the 18th tee and number 12th tee. That's how you do it. That's your move, I would say.
So Stanley Cup Finals.
World Series? Did you go to a World Series?
I did. I watched one in Philly. Me and Loops brought our dads to the one game in the World Series where it actually got postponed. Like after the 6th inning in Philly, the rain started coming down. And they postponed it, and then they won the next that game the next day and won the World Series. So I was there. I want to say one other one.
What about
Stanley Cup Final in 2002 for a draft. We went. It was in Carolina, and it was Game 3, Detroit versus Carolina, and Larry Onoff went in and went backhand cheddar in the third overtime. It was epic.
Didn't you go to English Premier game too?
I did. A couple.
How was those?
Those are insane.
Yeah.
We went to Emirates Stadium and watched Arsenal play, and then I seen Chelsea play. I think Man City.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it was a sick game.
Couple big boys there. I went to a rugby game in Australia with Loops. That was pretty fucking sick. These guys were just going around murdering each other. Then we partied with them the next 2 days later, and the way they treated girls was crazy. They were just the stuff they would say to them. We're like, holy shit! We went on this boat with their whole team and a couple of girlfriends. We're like, get us off this boat! Holy shit! What's gonna happen to us here? But then for me, it's UFC McGregor versus Poirier at T-Mobile. When McGregor's tune came on, that Irish jig or whatever, the place just went bonkers. And obviously he broke his leg in the first round, so the fight sucked. But when he walked out, the place went absolutely bonkers. And then I would say I went with you for Pacquiao Mayweather. It was unbelievable. Yep. And then shout out to my boy Tom Riley, hooked me up with ringside seats for Ryan Garcia and Tank Davis. And it was the energy. There's nothing like going to a big fight.
Yeah,
the energy is so good. Mayweather came out right at the end, jumped in the ring. Garcia and Holly Saunders were over here, and Tyson was over here, and there's people everywhere.
Awesome.
It was so sick.
Awesome.
Those are probably my two favorite things.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah, but I got a question for the franchise. In your wrestling career, did you ever get hit over the head with a full lunch cafeteria tray? And if so, how did it feel?
From what I remember, it didn't feel that great because the man that was swinging it is the man of the crowd that just asked me the same question.
I hammered him, boys. We did this. We did this dub. So Taylor, listen, I'll give you a little background on the franchise. Shane Taylor, big wrestling guy. Had a backyard ring. Had his own ring. Put the 4 fucking poles in. Had the ropes and everything around the grass. So we used to do a little backyard wrestling. So we put a show on for the talent show one year. And then once we started doing that, then we would just wrestle right? So I broke the tray over his head. We got all detention or suspension or whatever. But one day after school, he's like, oh, come over. We're doing a little backyard wrestling. I said, okay. And it was a little like today. It was a little dewy out there, right? So he was a little lighter back then. I was a little lighter. We were both a lot lighter back then. So I pick him up for the suplex, eh? He's like, before the match, we're going to do the suplex this time. I said, okay, we'll do the suplex. So he comes in. I pick him up, and as I get him to the highest point, my left foot slips and
on his neck.
On his back, like this. Ready? All I hear is, the sound that came out of him. I go, you all ready? He goes, give me a minute. So, and their camera were filming this stuff. And franchise, that was the suplex heard around the world, right?
It cracked the grass beside my back. Yeah, I needed to give me a little time. You had to roll me outside of the ring, put the boots to me, and then roll me back in. Give me some time, please.
Hey, I tell you what, I tell this guy, if we would have grew up in the era of social media, the stuff that this guy pulled at high school was epic, man. If you could have had this on,
I know.
He was the Nelk Boys before they were the Nelk Boys. He was doing the funniest shit. Miss Coyle, our detention girl, was already always off.
Shout out Miss Coyle.
Yeah, he was always in shit. Hey, franchise, I'll ask you the same question. What's the best sporting event? We'll finish with this that you've ever been to, my friend.
For sure. The best sporting event I think would have to be WrestleMania 18 Sky Dome. Rock Hogan. That was probably for sure my best sporting event, I think, just because Rock Hogan, when they're going back and forth, I thought the Hogan was going to win. The whole crowd went crazy. It was it was epic. It was a great time.
Franchise, you're a beauty. Love having you here. Maxie, great job as always. Fans, thank you for much. Keep the curfews calling. Up, dog, you're the man. That was Missin Curfew.
Fellas.